The rust-covered desk shone in the corner of her eye as Rara moved into the room she had occupied for the last couple of months. It wasn't anything extravagant, but the periwinkle walls somehow felt like home to her in the big city. Seeing a small stack of scrolls in the corner, she sighed to herself, moving towards the pile in apprehension. What was it going to be this time? She wondered to herself. Picking up one of the letters, Rara opened the small seal and read its contents before looking down and tossing the paper into the nearby bin where 1,000 others of the same type of letter lay. Why was it always like this? When she had decided to change her image, Rara never expected the exact consequences that would unravel before her. It seemed like not everyone was overly thrilled in her transformation, and longed for her to regain her roots in the glitter-filled facade she once lived. Rara had put in an extreme working effort in trying to get her fans to embrace this new side of her. Every day, she would wake up in the morning, ready to start the day, but shortly would crumble into the hate-filled words at the end of the day in her own pool of tears before it inevitably started over again. What was even the point in all this? She had thought that, once she had chosen her path, that would be the end of it, that some magical rainbow would show her the way, and everyone would embrace her music with open hooves. How naive she actually was. Just living in some fantasy when the cold reality only left her with a whirlpool of backlash and a small empty apartment that once was so lively. Thinking about her own manner brought a sour taste in her mouth. It was true that Sen Gallop wasn't the kindest of ponies, and certainly toxic in all senses of the word, but somehow, deep down, she missed him. Maybe he wasn't the most honest, but he was her friend at one point in time and helped her fill the empty void which was her apartment. Rara glanced around the room and decided to open another scroll. This time, the letters weren't as bold, but the results were still the same. Hate-filled words and reports jumped out at her, dragging her back into the dark pit she once occupied for many years. Throwing the paper into the trash like all the others, she decided to take a different route and moved toward her desk before taking a seat and looking at her newest piece. Yesterday, she was certain this song would captivate everyone who listened to her music, but now, she wasn't exactly sure. Second-guessing herself, she looked at the notes and tried to think of something that could sway those hating hearts so that she could really be free. She started scribbling down idea after idea, filling up the page with changes to her new image. If she could just find something every pony would be happy with, then maybe they would like her again. Pitting another idea up on the board, she tried to remember what was popular, what every pony liked, and what would fix the problem. Before long, the entire room was filled with papers, but it still wasn't enough. Rara stared and stared at the page, but after what seemed like forever, she groaned and crumpled up the paper, tossing it over her shoulder in frustration. It was hopeless. There was no way she would be able to create new music when the past kept dragging her down. Maybe everything she had done was a mistake. A couple of tears threatened to fall from her eyes when she saw her crumpled song next to one final letter. Debating if she should actually read it, Rara slowly opened the letter, expecting another mountain of hate, when her eyes grew in shock. Carefully grasping the paper, she read its contents.
Dear Rara, how are things over there in the big city? I hope everything is treating you well. I noticed some reports about how some folks aren't appreciating your music, and I decided to write you a letter to see if you're okay. I guess I sound like some crazy fan right now, don't I? I know things are tough right now, but just keep looking up, and if they can't see that, then they don't deserve to hear your beautiful music. Being back out there without any pony must be difficult, but know this, Rara, I'm proud of you and what you've been able to accomplish, and I look forward to seeing your next creation, Applejack.
When the letter finished, Rara wiped a couple of tears from her face and smiled to herself. There she went again. Even from miles away, Applejack was still trying to cheer her up. Rara thought about her friend's apple farm and felt a small warmth in her stomach. This was it. This was the feeling she was looking for. Quickly scribbling down an assortment of notes, she remembered the soft smell of apple trees, the whistling winds, and AJ's kind words. Soon enough, the blank white sheets were filled with her feelings. How was it that AJ always knew what she needed? She then looked at the board of ideas that was now occupied with walls and walls of visions Rara didn't recognize. Then she realized something. She changed in the first place to show Equestria who she really was. She wasn't some diva pop star like Countess Coloratura or a big city pony. She was just Rara. Maybe, just maybe, she was worth it. That maybe there would be people who would love her as she was, not as who she was trying to be. She didn't have to please any pony except herself. Rara glanced at 1,000 of ideas in the corner and slowly unpinned them off the wall before putting them in the trash can. Who cares if no pony liked her new image? She would just keep walking down this path that she had chosen, and if Applejack liked it, then that was all that mattered.